Hey there, rock stars. Sarah Robbins here, coming to you live for another network marketing tip of the day. Before we get started, let's go ahead and get acquainted. If you don't mind, shout out below who you are and where you're tuning in from. And if it is your first time watching, click a number 1 in the comments so I can always warmly welcome you. And don't forget, you can click the share button for a chance for a shout out. Share it on a team page for a virtual viewing party. I know your team's going to need to hear this message. Trust me. Or in the inbox with a friend. Remember, as always, the more who know, the greater your team will grow. Okay, guys, as you are introducing yourself, let me go ahead and quickly introduce myself. Who am I? I am Sarah Robbins, a former kindergarten teacher turned one of network marketing's very top leaders globally. I am also the author of the best-selling book on network marketing, Rock Your Network Marketing Business. You can find it on Amazon. I've got hard copy, Kindle, or audio read by me, or you can get bulk discounts for your team. I recommend these as promotion gifts or welcome gifts for your team. It's pretty cool. On the inside, you can write "You Rock" and sign it from you. You can get those discounts on my site at sarahrobbins.com. I am also the founder and creator of the network marketing university that works, called the Rockstar Recruiting School. You can check that out at rockstarrecruitingschool.com or sarahrobbins.com as well. All right, who is ready to rock their network marketing business? Today we're going to be talking about a very important topic that I can promise you all of you will probably face at some point in your career in network marketing, whether it's with yourself or somebody on your team. You've lost your passion for your current company or products or for network marketing in general. What is next? And we're going to really touch on that today. It's going to be real. It's going to be raw. You are going to be going to be sure that your team sees it too. So make sure you share this with them now. As we're waiting for people to pile in, I just wanted to share a quick testimony I got. Thank you so much from Christine Clark. She actually signed up for the Rockstar Recruiting School at rockstarrecruitingschool.com, our university for network marketing. And she said, Sarah, I just wanted to stop what I was doing. How often is it that people say thanks? And she said, which was training in the Rockstar University, to tell you that I have looked into other training programs. And she said, and while they're all fine in their own right, they're more geared toward personal growth, which is super important. We know that, right? We're going to be talking about that today. And she said, like a prerequisite before delving into entrepreneurship, she said, I'm at a stable point into my personal ongoing growth. So I was needing more of the meat and potatoes of a course. And this is exactly what you have for us. She said, I'm so happy to have you as a mentor and friend. I want to thank you for your gracious servant's heart. What a great impact you're making on the world by being a light for so many. So guys, if you've not checked it out, go to rockstarrecruitingschool.com. or sarahrobbins.com. You can learn more about our university. It's not just the feel-good stuff. It is my blueprint for how we built $1 billion sales team. Okay, so here we go today. We're going to talk a little bit about this topic. When the newness wears off, when the passion wears off, what do you do next? So first and foremost, I will say I was hearing about a leader the other day who had left a pretty sizable organization and team because the newness wore off or the passion wore off. And basically the way that they teed it up was they said, you know what, I lost my passion, and therefore how could I, lead other people to success authentically by saying I lost my passion, and would it be possible for others? And immediately it hit me like a ton of bricks. First and foremost, how, as leaders, we generate these teams based on our belief and our buy-in. And clearly there's a time where we believed and we bought in, or we wouldn't be doing what we're doing and leading and influencing so many people. So these are people who trusted us, right? I thought about that. But the second thing that I thought about that really hit me like a ton of bricks is, the same is true in marriage. The same is true in relationships. And can you imagine if every single one of us walked out of that relationship, we walked out of that covenant, the most important relationship, I believe, aside from our relationship with God. It's a covenant relationship. It's covenant partnership. And let me just say that outside of abuse and affairs and all of those things, it is a covenant relationship, first and foremost. So what would happen if the entire population just walked out when their passion faded away or the newness wore off? I mean, what would I go do? Go find another spouse? Because that feel-good feeling of having a new relationship when you don't know, each other's issues, personalities, dysfunctions, etc., right? I mean, I thought, how sad would that be? We all go through seasons in our business, seasons in our marriage that are very, very hard. And I remember hearing a Christian pastor that I admire a lot, and she was talking about how most issues within marriage resolve themselves, even some of the most challenging ones, the hardest ones, where you're literally like, I don't know if I can do this anymore, but if you just stay and if you just persist and you continue to love, how, when those challenges arise, eventually, you wake up and you wake up to a new day, and you wake up to a new chapter, and you wake up to a new opportunity really to begin again and to love again. And I really thought about how all of that equates to marriage too. And I thought, my gosh, here you have a business where it's paying you residually, and you poured all of your passion into it, and you have people who love you and trust you and honor your influence. And then we wake up one day and we just say, because it's gotten tough, because I don't feel as excited before, or, the newness wore off or whatever, I'm just going to walk out. I'm just going to walk out on my why. It didn't even make sense to me. I'm going to share with you just kind of another example of this too, but this was just big on my heart today. What do we do? What do we do when the newness wears off? What do we do when we feel like that passion is starting to fade away? Because here's the thing, it can happen, in tough times, it can happen in trials. It can even happen during a period of loss. Maybe you lost your best prospect, or you lose a leader on your team, or you go through something challenging in your organization, or as an individual, or as a company. What do you do? And as I was sitting down today and I was preparing for this, I thought, I would really prioritize, and I would look at things in three ways, three things. I start with P. The first thing that I do when I feel that I lose my passion or interest for anything, it could be exercising. It could be, with my spouse, whatever. I've been married 15 years this year. We've had our mountain seasons. We've had our seasons in the valley too. The first thing that I always do is I pray, and I ask that God would literally renew my passion, restore my vision, and give me that joy that I once had again. In fact, I was talking to somebody the other day, and she had a really, she went through a really challenging time actually in network marketing, and her company closed, and she was like, I just don't even know that network marketing is for me anymore. Like, I've just got to be able to begin again. And just the thought of that is so hard, but I believe in it so much. And I know this industry can offer to me more opportunities really than any other in terms of time, financial freedom, a fast start, the opportunity for personal, professional growth, residual income, etc. And I said to her, I just want to give you a verse that came so quick to my heart. I said, it's Isaiah 61:7. And it says, the Lord will restore double what was lost, even your joy. And I said, that's the prayer to be praying is, God, restore what was lost in my business. My company closed. It wasn't even my fault, right? We talked about the deal the other day, if you watched a few days ago back, about a company that closed in network marketing. What do we do about that? What do we think about that? And I said, you just need to pray that literally God will restore. He can redeem lost things, lost time, what God has for you. Nobody can add to, nobody can take away. I said, but the thing that you also pray is that God restores your passion, and He restores your joy too. And I said, you continue to pray. And I said, always be led by peace. There's another verse that says, God has not given us a spirit of fear, but power, love, and a sound mind. So if you're feeling fearful about anything right now, and you're like, do I stay? Do I go? What do I do? Stop. Don't do anything in a place of fear, because fear doesn't come from God. That means God's not leading you and guiding you, because God always leads with peace. So the prayer is just give me peace in the season that I'm in. And we don't make a decision in the midst of discomfort or chaos or the unknown, because just like, in seasons and situations in marriage, right? This too shall pass, right? And we start to love again, and we start to heal again, and we can, of course, begin again. And the next thing that we do is we pour in. We pour in. I remember going through a really tough season in my life, and it was when I first had my first son, my first child, and man, it was rough. And I was like, I just don't even know what I'm going to do, because I feel like I'm just going to totally fall apart and, lose it all. And what I continued to do was I poured in the ways that I could, just in the ways that I could. So here's the thing. It might have not have been the time to launch something new and go and do all of these new things, new programs, new challenges, new leadership programs, etc. But you know what I did forward facing? The things that my team expected of me, they knew of me, the things that they found, the comfort and consistency, but I outsourced. So I may have not have led a new challenge group, but what I did was I did my weekly training calls, but I had other leaders trained and I put them onto a schedule. I did those bare basic things, right, that would keep my team going and keep them growing. But you know the coolest thing that happened during that season, that I stepped back, leaders rose to the occasion. Those first 2 years that I had my son, it was incredible. And I was actually talking to a woman today. She's like, so what would happen if you stopped working your network marketing business? I was like, I have such an amazing team of leaders. They would go on with or without me. That's the power of true residual business, right? And they're doing it with or without me too. But you pour in the ways that you can and that are meaningful, that will keep your team going, but empower other leaders too. And then the last thing that you do is you persist, right? You persist, you keep on going, because remembering that disappointments are temporary, right? But walking out on your why, it's forever. Love is an action. It's not a feeling. Love is an action. It's not a feeling. I had another woman who went through some trauma. I'm going to just send this right here real quick. I had another woman who went through some trauma. And long story short, she was like, I just don't know if I can continue to lead and do my business in a place of grief. And I was like, I get it. She was like, I don't know if I leave. Do I sell my business? What do I do? And you know what I said to her? I said, has anybody asked you if leaving your business would cause more grief? And I'll never forget her crying. And she said, that is the most meaningful thing that anybody has ever even asked me, over a counselor, over anybody else, is to ask me if leaving my business would cause me even more grief. And she decided to say, I said, look, here's the thing. You've worked hard. Your team knows you. They respect you. They honor you as a leader. They're not going to think anything different. Do the things I'm telling you to do. You continue to pray. You continue to pour in, and you raise up and elevate leaders and allow them to lead and to take the reins during the season, but you persist. And you come back when you're able to give it your all, when you feel that passion is back in your business again. I said the time to make another big life change and the time to make a decision is not when you're going through the trenches. It's actually when you're at a high point, at a celebratory point, right? That you're able to emotionally and physically make sure that you're making the right decision. Because the thing is when you build this type of business, you guys, it becomes such an incredible blessing to you that can continue to bless your children, your children's children. Why would you ever walk out on a residual business that was paying you money over and over again for work you did up front, only to begin again? I can tell you one thing is for sure. I only want to be in one company, this company, the company I'm in right now, literally for the rest of my life. I know there's going to be highs and lows. I know there's going to be mountains and valleys. But the thing that I know for sure is if you stay in long enough, that passion comes back. That fire comes back. God always restores new. He'll bring you a new leader, a new business partner that can do it bigger and better than ever before. If you need encouragement in that area, watch a video I did a couple days back. It's called, What Could One Touch of God's Favor Do for Your Business? It's on my podcast too, so you can check it out. But it truly will be a blessing to you. I want to make sure that you guys check it out. So I just want to encourage you guys to be finishers, to continue to go the distance. And remember, times change, season changes, but just like grief, right? Sometimes we have to give ourselves permission and time to heal and learn how to love again. Guys, if I can help you in any way, make sure that you, tune into these, share these with a friend. And make sure, guys, get registered for our university for network marketing. It will really help you with the how-to steps of it. Go to rockstarrecruitingschool.com. Right now, we're giving $800 away free bonuses, still offering $100 off as a very quick trial. We're about to phase that out, so make sure you pick it up and check it out. I'll post the link below. But if this blessed you, share it below or share it with a friend. And with that, I want to wish you a great day. God bless. Goodbye for now. Rock on, Rockstars. We'll talk to you soon.